Good afternoon, everyone. This is Tyler Lavalette of Two Guys Talk Sports. Jake Waxman is down in Indiana this weekend, and he will be back in the studio next Friday. Helping me today is Jim Powers. Jim, thank you for coming on the air today.
Yep, I'm your comic relief.
But we need to get into what was breaking news yesterday and really concerns those of us here in Waterford, Michigan. Yesterday afternoon, there was reported by Elliot Friedman of Sportsnet in Canada that Waterford's own Dylan Larkin has requested a trade from the Detroit Red Wings after 11 seasons playing for the team. I honestly don't know how to feel about this, having a local guy as the captain, first one from the state to do so. Now he wants out. And while I'm still trying to process all of this personally myself, and on the one hand, it's going to sting if he does get the request granted, knowing that he's going to be playing elsewhere in the fall if this happens. On the other hand, we haven't made the play. This team has not made the playoffs in a decade. Not to mention, in all the years Stevie Eisman has been GM for the team. So I kind of get both sides of the situation in a way.
Well, Dylan, after winning the Olympics, probably really said he got that winning feeling again and went, I want that. Well, I don't think it's money. I think he has plenty of money. I just think, it's, like when Kirk Gibson left the Tigers, that was awful because he was a hometown boy.
Right. Same city. Of course, both guys went to the two different Waterford high schools, but still, same Waterford connection.
Yeah.
No doubt if we had this show back in the if I was around the age and we had this show, we would have been talking about Gibby in 84 and 88. Of course, getting the footage would have been a little trickier.
Yeah. But I don't know. The Red Wings were in first place. They looked great. It was before the break and everything, and
the Ides of March hit, and they weren't pretty.
The last couple of years has been the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're just gonna make it, and then they lose 8 games in a row or something.
It's like you're right there, and then boom, the bottom falls out, and you're missing the playoffs.
So, do you think he's sending a message that something needs to be done, or? That's a kind of a slap in the face with all the guys he plays with. Has no faith in the team. That's.
I honestly don't know. I feel like at some point I feel like we're at a point where you really are starting to question if the Eiserman plan is even working at all when you have a grand total of 0 playoff appearances under his tenure, like I mentioned early on. 0. That can't be good at all.
Yeah, 'cause I haven't seen him make a good trade, or I don't know who we got. Seemed like we got a couple players, and then we got rid of some of our younger players that are really doing Wallman, and they're all playing well on other teams.
Yeah, now we got prospects that did good in Grand Rapids during their Calder Cup playoff run until Chicago eliminated them. But at some point, you're really going to have to, like I said, at some point, you're going to have to question how long Eiserman can be the GM of the team, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, Eiserman's like a hero here, so he's one of my heroes. But yeah.
Yeah, of course, the 3 Stanley Cup championships he was a part of.
Yep.
Of course, I think it was Lindstrom that won it in 08.
Yep.
Yeah, that was. And Larkin, hasn't had anything because of these complicated situations.
The first year he was here, he was in the playoffs.
Right. First 3 or so. Was it only 2011, 2015, 2016?
I think it was only a couple of years, and the rest of
Yeah, the tail end of the that 25-year playoff run.
Yeah.
I remember much of that for my existence for much of that 25 years.
Well, that was like when I was growing up. It was the Dead Wings until, even though we had Gordie Howe, who played for us forever, and then that really hurt when they wouldn't re-sign him, and he went to Hartford. I don't know. Being a homeboy, but these guys, they didn't do all that practicing and everything just to. He had a plan what he wanted to do. I think he wants to be in the playoffs.
Right. And I get that. But it appeared that plan keeps running into setbacks. Some that could be in his control, and some that could be beyond his control. I mean, especially the playing situations and all the injuries. The injuries have definitely not helped at all.
No. It seems like most of Detroit teams all got an injury bug, don't they?
Basically, and we'll get into one of the other teams in a little bit, but really, we're gonna have to really keep an eye out on the interwebs to see if anything really happens. I totally get why radio silence right now from both the organization and Dylan Larkin.
Because it's not a money thing. I don't think you could throw money at him, and I don't think that's what he wants. He doesn't want that, so.
He's pretty much set for him, Kenji, and their daughter.
Right. But I'm just saying that, so they'll have to figure out I don't know how they'll figure out how to keep him.
Yeah, that's the situation. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm just still flabbergasted. Like I said, trying to process all of this as you are, because this is a Waterford guy, and we really need to focus on our hometown heroes a lot. And for a hometown hero to want to leave the hometown team he grew up watching, that really is concerning. And it's something we really need to keep an eye on in the coming weeks and months. Especially when the Stanley Cup finals are done and we hit the free agency period and have the 26-27 schedule come out. Stuff like that.
So if you could tell Dylan, tell him to please stay.
I wish I had that personal connection, but again, when I did get my first Larkin jersey signed by him back in 23, when I won the gondola suite and found opportunity to sit in the gondola suite in a foundation auction, he was still on the team. Still have that signed jersey framed.
Yep.
Rightfully earned it. Speaking of the Tigers, how about that? They've actually it's not been a fun May, to put it nicely. But I think we can say things are kind of starting to turn around a little. Maybe, maybe not. But then again, sweeping Tampa in their stadium in the Chop helped.
Tampa only had 6 losses, right?
Yeah, they're top in the East, AL East, and the Tigers, they're up to 4th now. But there's some help on the way. Gleyber Torres came back in time for the Tampa series and did good. Dylan Dingler, not injured, has done good. Casey Mize is getting another rehab start in West Michigan, north of Grand Rapids. And Justin Verlander pitched last 2 weeks against the Iowa Cubs for the Mud Hens. And rumors are persisting that he could be back in the rotation as early as Tuesday against the Twins.
Whoa.
Nothing confirmed yet, but with the way ticket prices for that game are looking to be going, there might be something we, the public, don't know about quite yet. For now, we got the 3-weekend series against the Mariners at home, off day on the 8th, and then, like I mentioned, the 3 games against the Twins. So, if anything, we could very well have Verlander being must-see, not just must-see TV, but bringing back must-see JV once again to Comerica Park.
That's another person who when he left, was another, when he left the Tigers, that was painful because he was a Tiger. There's some players you just.
Yeah, it was just painful back in 9 years ago, but I'm just glad that it's been resolved. Of course, the injury situation has not helped.
No.
Not one bit. Only one started in Arizona and nothing since because of the injuries. But to know that he at least has this year with the team is still good. And I don't know if is it truly his last season or not, or what happens going forward with the lockout concerns coming up really quickly and looking to be ugly at that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but regardless, it's good that Verlander is back. It's good that some of our arms are coming into form again. Although that first game against the Rays had the huge lead, then kind of let them come back into it, but did shut the door down in the end. Game 2 was a blowout. It was a shutout win in the favor of the Tigers, and Game 3 only gave up 2 runs yesterday, or Wednesday, but hey, got the sweep. And yeah, it's been pretty good for the Tigers right now. I mean, yeah, 4th in the division, which is not good because of that rough May we went through.
No.
But maybe things are starting to turn around. Or maybe it just could, or I might look like a big idiot this weekend. We could very well get swept by Mariners team for all we know. That's just baseball for you. I can't say much. It's just baseball.
Right.
I can't say much because that's just the unpredictability of each of the 162 games you play in a year. Jake and I keep saying baseball is a marathon, not a sprint. And, of course, other people have said that. And we all say it for good reason with how long the season is,
Yes.
Good. At least they're on the same page with me on that one. And now, Dylan Dingler, he came back. Did good against Tampa all 3 games. Gleyber Torres, his rejuvenation, his return to the lineup helped spark the team. I just hope other guys like Torkelson, Riley Green, and Spencer Torkelson can turn things around pretty quickly.
Yeah, that rookie's still doing really well.
Yeah, and even down the farm, I'm hopeful one day we get Max Clark up from AAA. And Kevin McGonigal had also been pretty good.
Real good, yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't he was so good in spring training that he skipped Toledo because of his success in Erie last year, in Double A.
Yeah, he's still batting like 300 still.
Yeah, finally, it was good back in early April to see him finally hit that home run. But like I said, too early for me to get a gauge on this Tigers team in June 26th to tell, is this team for real once again, or is this just a flash in the pan that's going to make me look like an idiot? And it's also too early for me to tell is if JV is going to be able to get back into his old form once again. But I do know one thing for certain. Help could very well be on the way.
Yeah.
And speaking of other baseball news, remember Nick Castellanos?
Yeah.
Well, this past offseason, he got signed by the Padres. Just got designated for assignment. It appears he has not done well out in California, in Southern California, with them. So he's on the free agent list now. Do the Tigers try to go for him or anything? Probably not. I honestly don't know, but we'll see how it goes with him now that he's he's not on for a team, and staying in the AL East, like Aaron Judge. Oh boy, if you're a Yankees fan, that's not good to know that he's going to be out for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, just like what, 3 to 4 weeks, what I've been hearing.
Yeah, but then they, somebody like him, you don't want to bring him back too early.
Right, yeah, like with many of our guys. I mean, there's a reason we've had Mize and Verlander doing pitching rehab assignments for a good reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. Yankees fans should. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're second in the AL East now, if I'm not mistaken. But the thing is, it's still worrying for the fans and pinstripes to know their captain is missing a bit of time. That's not good news. But for the rest of us,
It is.
that are not Yankees fans,
It's good news.
that it is. And the Tigers had to play them twice later in June, once at home and then once away in the Bronx. That just might help be to our advantage if we can do good in all the games we play against the Bronx Bombers.
Yeah.
Make them not so bombing. But hey, like I said, still too early to tell. You got after the series against the Mariners and Twins I mentioned, you got a road series with the Guardians and then the Houston Astros as well. And a nice big 10-game homestand as well. To which I will be going to a game on June 20th during the third weekend series, that weekend against the White Sox. And then they also have home games against the Astros and the Yankees. So it'll be nice to have 10 games at home, a nice long 10-game lull when you don't have to worry about traveling anywhere.
Yes. Hopefully they win all those, so put them right back in.
Yeah, a nice good 10-game winning streak could do you wonders, unlike you're a team like the Cubs, you can have a 10-game winning streak, a 10-game losing streak, and then another 10-game winning streak, and then a 10-game losing streak.
Ouch.
Sorry, Jake, but that's just baseball. And then they were down against the Athletics, who have been surprisingly well in the AL West, and they ended up winning. And the Cubs ended up got lucky on a walk-off last night. Win.
Oh.
So hey, at least Jake's happy on that front. Right now they're in San Diego against the Giants. They had a slight delay. I'm not sure how that game's going right now, but they have the home weekend series with the Giants this weekend. Jake, I hope if you watch this, I hope you're having a fun time in Indiana. Meanwhile, it appears that with the Knicks finally winning Game 1 in the NBA Finals 2 days ago, it looks too early to tell if those guys have made it if going to go win a championship. I mean, come on, it's only a 1-0 lead really in NBA basketball, but still anything can happen. You really don't want a championship series to end in a 4-game sweep, that's for sure.
Yeah, but last year the Knicks were against the Pistons, and Brunson looked like he was injured for the game, and they ended up beating us anyway. So
yeah, that was
that was
they
awful.
looked like they were. I was half hoping for a good Eastern Conference final match with New York.
Yes.
Then Cleveland beat us in 7, and then
Yeah.
got steamrolled.
I guess we were more injured than we were, so I don't know.
Hey, at least the Pistons had a good season. I would say that.
Yes, they did.
Can't go on with
No, they were in the playoffs, weren't they?
and won a series and got a home series win in LCA at that.
Yeah.
So you can't complain. Nothing to be too sad about.
No.
Unlike the Red Wings, at least one team did good in the winter and spring. Ugh.
Ouch.
Yeah, but hey, the question is, if the Spurs, led by Victor Wembanyama, get a chance, can rebound tonight, or could they be finding themselves in a 2-0 hole? And in hockey, you got the Carolina Hurricanes, who evened up the series with Vegas on a double overtime winner late last night. So,
Yeah.
which means which proved good news. No sweep possibility for Vegas.
Right.
Which, like I said, you don't want that in your best championship your championship game series to end in that way. It's just not exactly exciting to have one team be super dominant and another team not getting even a whiff of a win.
Yeah, I think with hockey, if your teams aren't in the Stanley Cup playoffs because it's June, you're really not following hockey that much. I mean, yeah, it's amazing that all these things are going way into the summer almost.
And they're playing in, and of course, hockey being in now, the fall now being in non-traditional markets.
Yeah.
Although at least Vegas, when you look at Vegas' history with the pro sports these days, of all the Knights are the only homegrown team they have. The Raiders and the soon-to-be Athletics were relocations. And I can say any upcoming NBA team that they get in expansion into the homegrown former category, because they'll have a chance to build a new identity there in Vegas. Their own team, their own fan base they can cultivate. With the Raiders and the Athletics, you have the fan bases, but they came from other cities too.
Yeah.
So, looking at you, Oakland.
I was just wondering about, because it's so difficult to find sports on television, who's going to pick up the,
Right.
hockey if it doesn't.
Well, I mean, ABC has both the Stanley Cup and NBA Finals this year, so there's that.
Yeah, and I know that Amazon's trying to pick up.
They have rights in Canada on Monday nights, but emphasis on Canada. Doesn't work here.
No.
We'll see. The crazy thing is, we only got two seasons left of the current NHL deal with ESPN and TNT Sports. But you got the combined factor of one. You got several factors that could really indicate a potential that things to consider. One, there's the merger between Paramount and Warner Brothers. If that happens, CBS might want to have a say in having games on their on the main network. And two, what about the streamers? Amazon could be using those games in Canada as a way for them to get involved. Look what they've done in NBA, for example.
Yep.
Thursday Night Football at their tentpole, 5 NASCAR races. They've done well with those. And people say, yeah, it's maybe hard to not know where the games are going to be at, but the thing is, if some people are tech savvy enough to know where they're going to be at, if it's on a cable channel, over the air, or if you need a streaming service, You just got to know. And unfortunately, I know you're getting. I know. I don't want to. I know you don't know how technically savvy it is for the older crowd people out there. You know. You know what I mean, Jim?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's just not like I said. It's not easy to know when you've grown up on one way.
Yeah, but they
All
don't
cable.
want to have 5 streaming channels. They go back and forth, the older groups, and then the younger kids are not even getting involved. I don't know about following sports too much now.
Right. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. I mean, even the NFL likes to make the argument that 85% of the games are going to be on free over the air. It's not like you can really watch all those games. You're getting all those games on over the air anyway. You're only getting what on a typical Sunday afternoon, 3 games on average.
Right.
Because you got the doubleheader and then the single matchup.
Are they doing Saturday games now? I thought.
Not until December.
Oh,
Always after when the bowl seasons end.
after the college, so you know.
After college football's regular season happens and they get into the bowls and the playoffs. So not during the period from September through November. They always do late Saturday games towards the end of the season, towards the end, around Christmas, toward New Year's, and times like that. Just not during the 3 crucial months when you have college football going on. And especially not on Fridays. Because trust me, you do not want to go up against... There are provisions in the
Right.
Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961 that prohibit NFL games on Fridays to protect high school football.
Yeah.
And so, and of course the NFL has the requirement that even if a game is on ESPN or it's on Prime or Netflix, that it still has to be on an over-the-air channel in each of the participating team markets. So, like I know a week 2 game against the Lions-Bills game it starts Prime's coverage of Thursday Night Football this upcoming season. I imagine Fox 2 is going to be airing that game locally for those without access to Prime.
Oh.
And I've also heard Congress wanting to try to expand that for more sports besides just football, and for participating teams' whole state or region. But it's just in the introductory phase. Nothing's really happened on that front.
No.
So, jury's still out on that. For all we know, it could not even make it to a vote. It could die in one of the 2 chambers. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Because it's clear that the current government administration is clearly aware of the frustrations fans have with all that's been happening. I mean, you got the FCC getting involved in the inquiries. You got DOJ investigations. I mentioned the act in Congress trying to push for more free in-market access for various games. Even the LB wanting to lift its blackouts. We'll see.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot more gambling commercials for sports. Sports is all about gambling now. It seems like FanDuel's like, it's kind of crazy how there's a commercial for gambling on every sports thing you watch.
I mean, even the Tigers' new channel, Detroit Sportsnet, has Bet365, the UK-based Bet365, which just entered the Michigan market in late April. It felt, there's that, but it just felt a bit nice for much of April and late March to watch those games without the parlays and the ads getting shoved down your throat for a few weeks while they were still getting the approval to enter the state by the regulatory boards.
The announcers are letting you know what the odds are for games and stuff. It's crazy. It's like, it's all, it's come like part of the sport. I don't like it anyways.
I'm not one to do that gambling, but they always say to gamble responsibly, though, if you do. But yeah, personal take, not my cup of tea.
Okay.
I have no shame in never in saying that I've downloaded a grand total of 0 apps, spent $0 on bets, none whatsoever.
Yeah.
Between believe you and me, I got my own ways to make money.
All right.
The sane and legal way, you know. My bottle business.
Yeah.
I'll take to that. And yeah, but you really, and when you hear about the Ohio Governor Mike DeWine saying he regretted allowing betting and legalization of betting in the Buckeye State, you kind of know you screwed up, but too late. You have to suffer for your consequences. And it also means you're going to have to deal with a poor pitcher or player having to deal with death threats if they have one bad game.
Oh, it's crazy. All right.
Tell me about it. It's just, ugh.
Well, I thank you for having me on today.
Absolutely, Jim. And I haven't watched any of the F1 races ever since Apple took it over. I'm more focused on baseball and stuff these days. I know we got Monaco this weekend.
Oh.
It felt weird not having it in Memorial Day weekend, like you had it for so long.
Right.
Then they had the also moved the Canada GP the day before Memorial Day, but after the 500 at least. So there was that. So good on F1 to slightly delay the race a little to let the 500 finish out. So good on them. Jake and I talked about that race. That was a fun race.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, not expecting too much from Monaco because of how narrow the streets of the Principality are, making the qualifying basically decide the race when you look at how narrow the track is. You're like, jeez, talk about a parade. Every year, it's basically a parade. If you get pole, you might as well also be given the race win. Basically. Basically. Again, like I said, hopefully Larkin doesn't
leave.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't leave. I hope the trade he realizes. I hope Eiserman had reassurances to him, be like, we'll try to do things good this upcoming season. We'll try to get into the playoffs, but part of me doesn't want to hold my breath, you know. Part of me is like, I don't want to hold my breath and have such blind optimism and think this is all just nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and I hope he doesn't leave. I mean, we love having the Waterford guy from Waterford I can talk about and share clips of. I love having him on the team. I love having the Brinkett from Farmington Hills. And to Jake's chagrin, we love having Patrick Kane. And yeah, he's from Michigan, but even still, he did break the all-time record scored by an American NHL player, goals scored by an American-born NHL player with us.
Yep.
So there's that. Anyway, Jim, once again, thank you for coming onto the show today.
Yep.
You were great for helping me out with Jacob as Jake was gone. To all of you watching, we thank you for watching this episode today. Be sure to follow us on Two Guys Talk Sports on Facebook, as well as Two Guys Talk Sports and other things on YouTube for more content like this. And with that being said, Jim and we are going to sign off for the day. So with that being said, this is Tyler Lavalette.
Jim Powers, peace out.
Peace out and have a good day.